So what is the problem with modern agriculture here in Australia? The primary problem here in Australia is that we've had a significant decline in soil health. The carbon levels have collapsed. Originally they may have been above 2.5–3%. Now we're seeing areas that are below 0.1% carbon. And consequently, the result of that is that the plants are always stressed. The crops, the pastures are always stressed. When they're stressed, they produce less and less nutritious food. Coupled with that, we're now growing food on more and more marginal soils. And we're growing a crop that originally comes from the Northern Hemisphere with a high mineral level, and we're growing it in an ancient landscape. So not only is the carbon declining in Australia, but we've also got declining levels of minerals. And that is where we need to make some significant changes to our agricultural practices. So what are the benefits of quality compost? The benefits of quality compost is it stimulates roots in plants. And when it stimulates roots in plants, there's less stress in the crop, and most importantly, carbon is put out into the soil, which then is used as a building block for building more humus. So you build the capacity of the soil to hold moisture and to hold nutrient. Now, one of the benefits to a grower, obviously, is that you can get away with a 50% reduction in fertiliser use, number one. Number two, there's a 30% reduction in diesel usage. Why? Because the soil gets softer. And lastly, speaking from personal experience as a market gardener, there's nothing more satisfying after using compost in your soil than to walk out in your crop on a hot day and seeing that the crop is not wilting. To see that there's very little stress in the crop. So what is this process of composting? What is it all about? The first step of composting is to first of all identify in your local area what resources you can compost. The second thing is to match the nutrition of your crop to the soil type in your area, or soil types. And lastly, make sure you select good quality machinery. The first point, local resources. We're talking about manures and hays and anything that can be used that can break down to form quality compost. Basically, it's like a recipe. You're out there selecting the ingredients for your recipe. The second thing is we've got to match up that compost with your soil types. There may be 2 or 3 or 4 different soil types on your farm. And rather than having to depend on a local consultant to come down here every year and tell you exactly what's required, you match your crops to the soil type. And that's an easy process. The last point is you have to select quality machinery. Part of what we're presenting to you today is buy something that's local, that's well built and has a proven record in the field. And that's what we find here. This machinery is really superb and it's well worth looking at. There are so many benefits to using quality compost in Australian agriculture. The primary benefit is that it restores soil health, and that for every farmer is the cornerstone of successful farming. Everything, whether it's livestock management or whether it's crop production, all stems from a healthy soil. The beauty of composting is that it's an ancient practice that dates back 3,000 years, and when you bring it up to the 21st century and you target it for each soil type, it gives you extraordinary results. And more importantly, every time you use it, you build upon what you've done the time before. It's not like a fertiliser where you use one application and it so quickly disappears. Compost is a building process and it builds a healthy soil. I'm Adam Willson from Soil Systems Australia. If you have any other queries about what we've said today, give us a ring here. We'll be glad to take your call.